Welcome back, guys. This is going to be a second part video tutorial. In the first part, in last video tutorial, we created this link called create product category, but of course, we don't have our route configuration done. But if we go into create product category right now, it says, hey, I don't know because this route doesn't really exist. So let's go ahead and write the code to have this configuration done. So in our Visual Studio 2013, so there, by looking at this template right here, inside this they have index method, and that's where all the configuration is basically done for the routes. But in a real life application, like when you have a huge amount of route, even you will see later in our simple example, we'll have a huge amount of route for basic CRUD operation. Some REST and some non-REST. So instead of doing this way, I'm gonna show you the way that is, I think, more it's more appropriate in a sense, because let's say once you have a huge amount of routes and you put your routes like that and then into your index like this is just a sample, the code that they provided. We can make it a little better. We can refactor it so that maybe we can have each functionality in here will have their own routes file. So let's go to do that. I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add a file here, a JavaScript file. Product category configuration. It's going to be a little function here, a JavaScript constructor function. I'm going to say let's rename this one. I don't like that name. It's more like a route configuration. Category route config. Okay, something like that. This can be a function. It will take app as a parameter. This app is an ExpressJS object into its constructor parameter, and then inside here I'm going to define. Let's go ahead and have this app coming in here, and also I'm going to define a route table as an array. It's going to be an object array, and then let's see, just write a method here, just init, basically method to initialize, and using the prototype. Oops. The whole purpose of this init method, we need to first populate our route. So var self equals to have a reference to this object, and after that we can do something like, let's call another method called populate, or maybe just simple add routes. Okay, and again the whole purpose of this method is to just add basically populate the route table. Let's see how to populate the route table. The idea is like if you look it into this route here, the route would take the path and of course the callback function. The callback function kind of looks like this. For example, if we look it into index, this is function, the callback function that takes two parameters, request and response object. Okay, so we need an object like that. So that's what I'm trying to define here. Okay, so we can do something like that, and we can do something now with this using self. I have a route table. Into route table, I'm going to push object. This object looks like this. We need to know the request type. Whether the request that's coming out is the GET request or post or delete, or what kind of request is coming out. So let's define a property called request type, and in this case, let's say here what I'm trying to define is this request right here. So create product category. So this one can be a GET request, and then request URL would be something like create product category. Create product category, and then of course then it need a callback function. Function that takes request object and response. And in this case, in response, just gonna return the page, render the page. So response dot render, and we can render the name of the page, the first parameter, and second parameter you can pass object here, like maybe most appropriate, maybe title of the page, and you can pass that information. Create product category. Okay, and the name of the page, which doesn't exist in our view, we'll be creating later soon. So it's going to be the name of the page. Okay, this is how our first route table looks like, and all the route table related to the product category will be adding into here inside this method. Okay, once our route is added, now we need another method. Basically, we need to associate the route with the Express application object. So how do we do that? So this is add routes. That is done. Let's go write another method called ProcessRoute. Once that, the same idea again, using this object, using the prototype chain. We're gonna come on, computer, don't give me. It's using prototype. Let's go ahead and write a method called ProcessRoute. It's just a function here, and it's going to be pretty easy. So the idea is like we have our route table already defined here as an array of objects. So basically, this, and we can say the route. With this, we have our route table available. Into it, we're going to do for each on it, and a callback function, right? Basically, let's say name it as a route. Okay, I'm iterating over each object that the route table contains. On each iteration, I need to know a couple of things. I'm going to say if the route, now route has a property called request type. If the request type is equals to it's a GET request, we will be processing a little differently than if it's a post. And otherwise, else if the route, the request that you are making to my server is for the post, I will have to process it a little differently. Or let's write one more, maybe perhaps we delete. Else if route request type equals to delete. Okay, then I will be doing something here. Okay, not that bad. Okay, I want to make sure that spellings is okay. All right, and this is just write that request. I will be writing as we need it. In this case, our very first need is after this route create product category being available. So this is going to be a GET request. So we're going to do something like this. We're going to say this self has into the app. We just basically calling the GET method. When we call GET, as you can see into app here, we need the route and of course the callback function, which is available with this object called route. So we're going to say route dot the property called route URL. Yeah, the request URL. This is going to be our route. Oof, I don't mean to do that, guys. And then our callback function is also contained in route dot name of our callback function is callback function. Okay. This is all we have to do. So that the benefit of this one is now all our route is in one place. For example, here for any product category related routes we'll be adding into here, processing here. So into app we just needed 2 lines of code. I'll show you how to do that one. Okay. Of course, in a Node.js, once we have this object, we need to of course export that object so that no other module can use it. So once our module is defined, we're going to say module exports. What we're exporting is this our new object here, JavaScript object. Okay, very cool. Let's go ahead and save it. And now let's go into, this is where our application, basically everything starts from here, initiates from here. So now we can, let's see, product category route. Very first thing we have to require, right, that the module that we just created, which is right here. Once that object is available, so we basically going to say, remember this is a constructor of function, so we have to new it, and then when we new, of course this guy takes the parameter as an app. We need to pass the app parameter, which is express object. Make sure. Okay. Of course, right now, based on our configuration, we are saying, hey, try to render this page. If this page doesn't really exist into our view, let's go ahead and add this page into our view. So I'm going to go in here and add new item. Just so, and of course it's not JED, it's going to be EJS. That's the page, and then only thing I'm going to do here is just going to grab this one so that I will have the header information available to this page here. If everything is good, our route should be ready to go. Our customized route. I mean, like, so it's. I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, so configure it out. Let's see why. Create product category could not be found. What went wrong? Something definitely went wrong. Let me see. In here is a module export. Maybe that could be one of those if it's not defined. Little typo thing. I want to make sure at least it comes in here. Okay, console. I want to log it so that route. I want to see how my route looks like, just to make sure all the property that I assigned to route is still there. And let's close this one. Let's go into app here. Okay, let's run. Yay! That was it. See, like, sometimes it's so weird, like when you're programming some little space. That's what I had, like, in here. I had this much space here, of course, and the comparison doesn't make because that means it doesn't fall into here, so that means that we don't have any route definition. That's what happened. Okay, you have to be very, especially in JavaScript, when you're writing code, you gotta be really careful. Okay, that is good. Now our configuration is done. The benefit of this one is, like, let's say now we have to define another route. All you have to do is just come in here, define your route. You don't have to do anything. Whether you, let's say you later on, well, just for example, let's say we have just to explain, let's go ahead and define the view product category. Of course, right now this guy doesn't exist, so let's see. So I want to come here and let's close our app. Just add a view here. I'm gonna add view product category EJS file. I'm gonna add this one. Okay, so and just basically I'm gonna copy that so all of them would be the same. Now our view file actually exists, and now all we have to do is just the configuration right here. All I'm going to do, just grab this code here and change some. And this is also going to be GET request, but instead of this is going to be now a view product category. It's a request type is still GET, and that is the page going to be a view product category, and we're going to change the title view product category. Just by doing this, I'm sure it should work. Yay! Now our view product category is ready to go. All right. that is cool. Okay, so like it was little JavaScript, but this has huge benefit. Even though it looks like a little complicated than just having a couple of lines in there in the file, but if you think about it, this approach is more efficient. Okay, so now we have our route defined. Now what we have to do is now we need a form, right? We need a form so that we can post. Basically, posting, we need to display our form here. That's the next thing we'll be doing in our second part of our video tutorial. Okay, all right, thank you guys.